In an age where cameras never blink and every corner seems to be under constant watch, some moments were never meant to be seen by the public. CCTV footage is designed to deter crime and provide security, but every so often, it captures something far darker, sudden, violent, unavoidable. These recordings don't just document death, they freeze the final seconds of ordinary people who had no idea their lives were about to end. From quiet streets to crowded public spaces, these chilling clips reveal how quickly normalcy can turn into horror. Here are the 5 most disturbing deaths ever caught on CCTV.
A 2-year-old boy disappears from a shopping centre in Bootle, near Liverpool.
On the afternoon of February 12, 1993, 2-year-old James Bulger was at the New Strand shopping centre in Bootle, Liverpool, enjoying a routine trip with his mother. It should have been a normal day, just like any other, full of small joys and innocent moments. James, like any toddler, wandered with curiosity, his tiny footsteps echoing lightly across the tile floors. But the innocence of the day masked a horror that no one could have imagined. Nearby, 2 10-year-old boys, Robert Thompson and John Venables, were watching. They had spent the day shoplifting small items, sweets, batteries, and a can of blue Humbrol paint, but their plans were far darker than petty theft. For reasons that defy logic or morality, they had decided to abduct a child. They were just children themselves, yet capable of committing a violence so shocking it would haunt a nation. Caught casually on CCTV, the footage shows the boys moving with chilling calm as they selected their victim. James, unaware of the danger, allowed himself to be led away, hand in hand with the strangers who would soon upend his world. The scene is almost surreal. A tiny toddler walking with 2 children barely older than him, their faces calm, almost ordinary, yet hiding intentions that were anything but. The banality of the moment, the quiet shopping center, the background chatter, the passing shoppers only made the unfolding horror even more jarring. The boys didn't just take James, they tormented him. Within minutes, they reached the Leeds and Liverpool Canal, just a short distance from the shopping center. There, James was dropped onto his head, bleeding and terrified, while the boys cruelly joked about pushing him into the water. Witnesses later recalled seeing him crying desperately, a sound that went largely unheeded as the boys continued their relentless, calculated march across Liverpool. Over 2 miles they walked him, through busy streets, parks, and alleyways. Around 38 people reportedly saw the scene, yet almost no one intervened. When questioned later, Thompson and Venables gave casual explanations, claiming James was either a lost brother or a child they were escorting to the police. At one point, they even entered a pet shop with him, only to be ejected. Finally, they reached Walton, near the old railway line by Walton and Anfield Station. Here, the violence escalated to an unimaginable degree. The stolen blue paint was thrown into James's eye. He was kicked, stamped on, and struck with bricks and stones. Batteries were forced into his mouth, and possibly worse. Ultimately, a 10-kilogram railway fish plate was dropped onto his skull, causing multiple fractures. Pathologists later recorded more than 40 separate injuries, each a mark of the relentless cruelty inflicted upon him. In a final act of heartless calculation, the boys laid James across the railway tracks and weighted him down with rubble, intending for a passing train to finish the act. When his body was discovered 2 days later by boys searching for footballs, forensic reports confirmed the chilling truth. James had already died from his injuries before the train even struck him. The investigation that followed revealed the terrifying clarity of what had occurred. CCTV footage, initially blurry and almost innocuous, documented the abduction and subsequent journey in painstaking detail. Police traced the boys through the stolen paint. The bruises matched to their shoes, and dozens of eyewitness reports. Every frame told the story of a city's ordinary afternoon transformed into a nightmare. A trail of cruelty recorded in real time. A child vanishing under the unblinking gaze of a public space. When Thompson and Venables were finally arrested, they were anonymized as Child A and Child B, the youngest murderers in modern British history. Evidence overwhelmingly confirmed their guilt. Paint on their clothing, matched that found on James. Blood on their shoes was identified through DNA testing, and the pattern of brutality left no doubt that they had deliberately caused his death. The murder of James Bulger shocked the world not only for its sheer brutality, but for the way innocence was so completely stolen in a public place. The CCTV footage immortalized the horror, capturing a toddler's laughter transforming into terror. A city's casual afternoon becoming a stage for unimaginable violence and the unthinkable unfolding before a nation's eyes. Even decades later, the images remain seared into the collective memory, a haunting reminder of how fragile life can be and how dark human actions can reach, even through the smallest hands. A man walks into an elevator carrying a glass of ethanol, intending to use it for car repairs. Once inside, he ignites a cigarette lighter, instantly triggering a burst of flames that engulfs the small space. Flames spread quickly as he crawls out of the elevator, patting at his clothes and attempting to extinguish the fire. A person becomes trapped inside a lift, with the doors refusing to open despite repeated attempts. They press multiple buttons and call for help, visibly frustrated as the elevator remains unresponsive. Three people enter the elevator, an adult and two children, one of whom is playing with a rope-attached toy.
Yakala, yavaşla. Yavaş yavaş çıksın.
Şahıs asansöre
Bak
giriyor.
bak.
İp kalıyor da bak.
Abi ya.
Bak boynuna dolanmış.
Yapma, boynuna koymuş.
As the doors begin to close, the child tosses the toy outside while holding the rope, which tightens around his neck as the elevator moves.
Ananı sikeyim.
Al sana bak nefes alamıyor.
The adult inside reacts immediately, working quickly to unhook the rope and save the child from serious injury.
Periştah kaymış. Allah'tan asansör sistemle de duruyor. Yoksa o çocuk orada.
A man attempts to bring a long pipe into an elevator, but it quickly becomes stuck as the doors close. The pipe is wedged tightly, preventing the elevator from moving as the man struggles to remove it. A dog is left outside an elevator, still attached to a leash, as its owner enters without noticing. The dog remains calm while the elevator starts moving, but the leash keeps it stuck outside. A man notices the situation, promptly rescuing the dog by unhooking the leash and ensuring its safety.
Oh my God, just watching it.
A person tries to operate an elevator that isn't responding correctly to commands, skipping selected floors and delaying its doors.
Okay. You know what? Go to 23. Here we go. Phone by Crapper 1.
The elevator pauses at random stops, opens briefly without anyone getting in or out, then shuts and continues unpredictably.
Oh shit. Okay, I'm getting off. I don't trust over to go 230 feet, John. We're gonna get another one.
Despite repeated button presses, it continues to behave erratically, refusing to go to the intended destination.
This is a death trap at the palace. Oh. Oh shoot. That's weird. I press the up button.
About 20 robbers were caught on surveillance camera, breaking into a jewelry store. They piled into the store, smashing glasses and taking what valuables they could lay hands on, but no one was injured. Though the cost of stolen jewelry was unknown, police say some of the robbers were caught after a car chase. In a heart-pounding chase, LAPD pursued suspects through South Los Angeles. The chase went on for quite a while.
Last-minute turns as he kind of makes this up as he goes along here southbound on Western Avenue, approaching 50th Street now. Again, we're in the heart of South Central as he continues southbound on Western Avenue. Another wild right there. A wild right turn there as he makes his way on to 54th Street. Another right-hand turn here, circling another couple of blocks here. Again, you can see just how narrow these streets are down here in South LA. There's a night sun right there. That's the LA.
The officers were relentless as they chased after the suspects who kept making different turns. Eventually, the getaway car started smoking, and the driver came to a full stop. Concerned, the suspects stepped out of the vehicle and were taken into custody.
Again, They were in pursuit for some time before they were able to get a full pursuit package to take over here. Looks like he's come to a full stop and now maybe going to dump the vehicle. He's come to a full stop near Manhattan Place in 52nd. Let's see, hands out the window here. There are at least 3 people that I can count. That's what we were told. To the sidewalk. Maybe that group there are near the top of the screen. They may be directing him to the sidewalk. They're going to place him under arrest here. And likely the other 2 passengers will be instructed to do the exact same thing.
It was the morning of August 6, 2024, in Sao Paulo, Brazil, a seemingly ordinary Tuesday. For 45-year-old Adriana Maria de Jesus, the day began as any other. She woke, got ready, and headed to her job at the Storandre apartment building, a place she had known for years. Routine guided her every step. It was a morning so familiar it barely required thought. Downstairs, her husband, Gildo Alves dos Santos, manned his usual post as the building's concierge. He monitored the entrance and hallways through a bank of security cameras. Another quiet morning in a job he had done countless times. Nothing ever seemed out of the ordinary, until it was. Adriana stepped into the elevator on the 5th floor, calm and focused. On the 7th floor, 2 men joined her, one in his 20s, the other in his 60s. Casual nods passed between strangers and Adriana pressed the button to descend. From his desk, Gildo watched the elevator monitor as he always did. The lift moved upward slightly before beginning its descent. A minor glitch, nothing alarming. But then, in an instant that froze time, the elevator dropped. No warning, no creak of metal, no chance to brace for impact. On the screen, Gildo saw his wife's arms shoot upward as the floor beneath her disappeared. The 2 men grabbed handrails, eyes wide in panic. Then came the brutal, unstoppable plummet. The monitor shook violently as the elevator slammed into the bottom of the shaft, filling the camera's view with smoke and debris. Emergency crews arrived immediately. Adriana was pulled out first alive, but barely. Her injuries were catastrophic. The 2 men survived with serious injuries, but Adriana spent the following week fighting for her life in the hospital. On August 13th, 7 days after the accident, she succumbed to her injuries. For Gildo, the heartbreak was unimaginable. The couple had been childhood sweethearts, separated for nearly 30 years, only to reunite 6 years prior. They had married soon after, finally reclaiming the future they had long been denied. That morning, Gildo had watched it all unfold through a screen. I watched the monitor and everything looked normal. Then it came down, and I was horrified. My heart is broken, he later said. Investigators soon discovered a grim reality. The Storandre building, over 60 years old, had an outdated elevator with no modern safety systems, brakes long overdue for replacement, and maintenance warnings from Atlas Schindler reportedly ignored. The combination of neglect and age made the accident almost inevitable. When the CCTV footage was released 2 months later, the nation was stunned. The serene steps into the elevator, the calm descent, and then that violent drop all captured in chilling detail. 3 lives were forever changed in seconds, and 1 man was left to watch his wife's final moments, powerless to stop it. The investigation continues, but the lesson is painfully clear. Decades of neglect and a single piece of outdated machinery can destroy a life in an instant. A woman in labor rushes into an elevator with paramedics and a nurse as the situation quickly escalates. Within seconds, she begins to give birth right there in the elevator, with the nurse stepping in to assist. baby is delivered safely before they even reach the intended floor, capturing an unforgettable moment on camera. A woman runs into an elevator trying to escape a stalker who's aggressively chasing her from down the hall. She desperately tries to shut the doors, but the stalker manages to slip in just before they close and corners her. He begins violently attacking her inside the elevator, while she struggles to fight him off and reach the buttons for help. A group of friends accidentally gets stuck in an elevator at a high school.
Okay, this is how to get stuck in an elevator. Okay, do it right now. Do it. Dude.
The elevator stops unexpectedly, and they realize they are trapped inside as they try to push buttons to fix the issue.
Hey! Hey! Hey, you! Hey!
They attempt to calm down and try different methods to open the door, but the elevator remains stuck, leaving them waiting for help.
Crap! Dude! Ah, crap!
No, he's on the first floor.
Okay, do it, quick! Right now! Dude! Stop. We're not doing that. We're not doing it anymore now. That was close. Yeah, we're going to one.
A person attempts to use the old General Dover elevator at the Central Building in Clayton, Missouri, but the elevator doesn't function properly.
Why won't she go down? She went up, but she went down.
The elevator doors fail to close properly, and it remains stuck for a moment.
Why are we going down? Go down. Go down. You know what? We'll try it one more time.
Despite several attempts, the elevator doesn't move smoothly and seems to struggle, leaving the person frustrated and confused.
And if we can't go down, we'll have to take the MPE. Ooh. Big bump. Up. Going down.
In an embarrassing moment, a 61-year-old retiree found himself against a gang member who issued threats to his life.
And get that phone out of my face, fool, before you get socked, fool. I will fucking sock you.
I ain't doing nothing wrong, dude. I ain't breaking no law. You're over here trying to attack me, brother. Why are you trying to attack me, man?
You want to get down, fool? You're taking
no,
off
I don't
your
want to
shirt,
get. No, you're threatening.
shirt,
You just threatened my life, dude.
You're taking off your shirt,
You just
fool.
threatened my life.
From
Well, you
Azusa.
threatened my life,
You a
dude.
gang member, fool?
I'm not no gang member.
Yeah,
I'm
you
a
are,
61-year-old man, and I don't give a right now.
Yeah. Get that phone out of my
I
face,
ain't no
fool.
fucking gang member. I'm
Get that phone out of my phone.
Why you arresting a 61-year-old man, huh? And now you're coming at me all crazy?
Get that phone out of my face, fool. You're gonna get rushed, fool.
Oh, then.
Despite the man saying he was not a gang member, the shameless thug kept threatening him anyway. The Los Angeles Police Department released body cam video of the moments a suspect armed with a machine gun fired at two officers during a traffic stop.
You want to call it a reckless or DUI if they take off?
He's been swerving.
There we go, PA. Move your hand real quick.
Oh, stop.
Go! Shots fired. Officer needs help. Get the car! What was that? You good? Go! Just go! We're gonna be northbound. Northbound Broadway from Rosecrans. They hit us with, dude. Hey! No, go.
3 masked individuals, dressed in hoodies, stormed into Hill Street Jewelry, creating chaos as they overpowered a security guard.
A terrifying armed robbery caught on tape. It happened June 1st. 3 armed robbers in masks and hoodies stormed into Hill Street Jewelry.
Customers panicked, scrambling for safety, while the store owner bravely attempted to defend the business. The robbers, however, made their escape in a black Nissan Altima, leaving behind a scene of fear and disarray.
Security guard as customers scattered. The store owner tried to fight back and the robbers fled in a black Nissan Altima. The store owner believes they made off with more than $500,000 in jewelry.
Surveillance footage from a store in North Houston captured a man, identified as Clark, confronting the register and stealing cigarettes.
In North Houston shows a clerk as he faces 4 robbers with guns aimed right at his face. The robbers then empty the register and steal some cigarettes. The clerk was not hurt, thankfully. But if you know who these men are, call Crime Stoppers at 713-222-TIPS. There is a cash reward.
Thankfully, the clerk was unharmed during the incident. A group of 4 men went to rob a bank, but before they could go far in their escape, police were on their tail.
Fled the scene in this SUV. Law enforcement agencies were first led to Sylmar, where 2 suspects jumped out. Only one was later caught. Then 2 others continued onto the 210, then 110 freeway and into South Los Angeles.
The chase continued from the highway into South Los Angeles Street, where one of the suspects flung some of the stolen cash into the street.
There, police gave chase, while one of the suspects gave out money.
Still more money coming out the window.
McGowan believes it was her nephew throwing out the money to residents in his neighborhood.
2 LA gangsters went at it at the park, and here's how it played out.
Get up.
I had to give up, fool.
Members of the Bloods and the Crips locked horns in a restaurant, and here's how it played out.
Whoa.
This is the very definition of chaos. No one knows how it started or promoted it, but these guys must have had a serious quarrel before the fight broke out. Everybody was fighting everybody and people were getting knocked down by the seconds. There was no stopping until police arrived to restore calm.
hours of the brutal murder of his math teacher, prosecutors say Philip Chisholm went to a movie, using his slain victim's credit card to buy the ticket.
It was October 22nd, 2013, in Danvers, Massachusetts, a day that began like any other for 24-year-old Colleen Ritzer. A devoted math teacher, she often stayed after class to help students who struggled with complex problems, her energy and patience a hallmark of her personality. To her, teaching wasn't just a job, it was who she was. Among her students was Philip Chisholm, a quiet 14-year-old freshman who often went unnoticed in class. That afternoon, however, he became the center of a tragedy that would shock the community. Shortly before 3 p.m., Colleen stepped out to use the restroom. Surveillance footage would later show Chisholm following her, hood pulled up, moving silently and deliberately. At 3:06 p.m., a female student briefly entered the restroom and noticed a motionless lower body. She assumed someone was changing, unaware that she had just glimpsed a scene of horror. Moments later, Chisholm emerged, carrying Colleen's pants. He returned with a recycling bin, then methodically wheeled it out of the school, dragging it toward the nearby woods. His actions were disturbingly calm, almost clinical. By evening, the alarm spread. Colleen had not returned home. Chisholm had vanished. Police eventually found him past midnight on Route 1, carrying a blood-stained box cutter and Colleen's belongings. When questioned, he replied with chilling indifference. The girl? Hours later, Colleen's body was discovered in the woods, concealed under a layer of leaves. Nearby, a handwritten note in teenage scrawl read, "I hate you all." During the trial, prosecutors revealed the shocking simplicity of the trigger. Colleen had asked Chisholm about his recent move from Tennessee, a benign question that, for reasons still debated, seemed to ignite something dark within him. Minutes later, he had followed her into the restroom, strangled her, and inflicted further harm before dragging her body outside in the recycling bin. Afterwards, he calmly watched a movie and even shoplifted a knife. The evidence, CCTV footage, forensic findings, and Chisholm's own words left the courtroom in stunned silence. He was convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment with the possibility of parole after 40 years. While awaiting trial, he attacked a female youth services worker, earning an additional 17 to 20 years. Today, Philip Chisholm remains behind bars, but Colleen's family and community continue to honor her life. A scholarship bears her name. Friends wear pink, her favorite color, and memories of her warmth, her smile, and her passion for teaching live on. A reminder of the bright light extinguished far too soon. The video shows an elevator that was out of service as workers attempted to make it fall during maintenance. The workers begin their process, preparing the elevator to drop, indicating that they were testing or working on it to simulate a fall. As the elevator eventually falls, the workers stand at a distance, observing the test with the structure making a loud crashing sound upon impact. A woman steps into the elevator while her dog remains outside, still attached to a leash she doesn't realize hasn't come with her. As the elevator begins to move, the dog is suddenly yanked upward, its leash pulling it toward the ceiling in a terrifying moment. A nearby man reacts instantly, rushing in and managing to unclip the leash just in time, saving the dog from severe injury. A person enters an out-of-service Dover elevator that had already been sealed off, showing no signs of activity or power.
Alright, here it is. Look at that. Sucks. I ride this thing like mostly every day because
They glance around the still, non-functioning cabin while the panel lights remain completely off.
a huge YouTube channel that I film elevators with. I know it's a weird hobby, but this thing broke. I'm gonna leave this note here. Right there. There's the note if you want to read it.
With the doors sealed and no response from the controls, it's clear the elevator is completely shut down.
I'm gonna see if it. I mean, look at the whole door mechanism. Look at this.
You make a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I film elevators on YouTube. You can check it out if you want. I got over 200 subscribers. It's crazy. A lot of people do it than you think. It's crazy. Look at that. The whole door mechanism.
A brazen daytime robbery attempt was captured on video.
A brazen daytime robbery attempt captured on security video. Look at this. It happened near Melrose Avenue and Vista Street. This is in the Fairfax area. Investigators say two men got out of their car and confronted the person in the blue shirt. Believing he was about to be robbed, that man pulled out a gun and fired. The would-be robbers went running and police captured them soon after. Now the LAPD is asking for help in finding the person with the blue shirt.
Investigators said two men got out of their car and confronted a man who, believing he was about to be robbed, pulled out a gun and fired at the suspect. Here's the footage of a group of between 20 to 50 people looting a Nordstrom store at the Topanga Mall. This guy almost got himself into real trouble with his careless biking.
Relax, bro. Oh, my bad, bro. I was jumping off of this. Total accident, dude. Sorry about that. Not intentional.
He jumped off a platform and almost ran into a man who was likely a gang member, holding his baby. Luckily, the man simply walked away. Two LAPD officers approached an illegally parked car on Manchester Avenue and encountered Travis Elster from Compton. As they attempted to engage him, body cam footage captured Elster nearly running over one of the officers with his vehicle.
What's up, bro? Waiting for my mom, sir. Okay, you're just parked illegally, that's it.
On February 9th, two LAPD officers drove up to a car parking illegally on Manchester Avenue near Figueroa Street. That's where they encountered the suspect, Travis Elster of Compton.
Can you turn off the car for me? I'll go over here for you, sir. Turn off the car for me? Let me move the car for you. No, just park it, leave it here, okay? Hey! Yo!
From the perspective of the second officer's body cam video, you can see the suspect almost ran over one of the officers.
The chase ended at a nearby mall, where Elster fled into a discount store. Surveillance footage showed him switching his black hoodie for a red sports jersey in an attempt to disguise himself. Later, he reappeared at another store and eventually returned to the scene, this time concealing his face.
Our Desmond Shaw picked up the end of the pursuit at a nearby mall.
It was actually a short pursuit with an assault with a deadly weapon suspect, and it came to an end with him running into a discount store here.
A security camera from inside the store captures the suspect running in wearing a black hoodie, going to the back of the store just several feet from a security guard, changing clothes, and then walking back out, this time wearing a red sports jersey. Video from a security camera at another store captured the suspect walking into the business wearing the same red jersey he had changed into. Several minutes later, he returned to the front of the second store, covers his nose and mouth with a large face covering, and walks out in front of an army of LAPD officers looking for him.
Now, there is a warrant for Elster's arrest for assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer. If you can help detectives find him, give the department a call. The conduct of the two.
A person finds himself stuck inside a lift in Glasgow city centre as the doors fail to open correctly, trapping him inside. He tries different ways to trigger the door, tapping buttons and pushing lightly, but nothing seems to work.
Doors closing. Doors closing.
A broken elevator continues moving with part of its door visibly damaged, shaking slightly during operation. It comes to a stop, and despite the damage, the doors open normally to let the passenger inside step out. A man in a wheelchair aggressively rams into the elevator door, attempting to force it open in a fit of frustration. He backs up and charges again, hitting the door even harder as bystanders look on in shock. A person is seen stuck in an elevator, caught between the doors as he desperately tries to find a way out.
Hello?
He makes several attempts, pushing, twisting, and adjusting his grip, trying to force himself out, but to no avail. A man films himself stuck inside an elevator during a sudden power outage, the dim emergency light casting eerie shadows on the walls.
Okay, what do we do?
Hi, yeah, we are in an elevator and it seems like the power's gone off in here.
He presses various buttons and tries to call for help as the elevator remains unresponsive.
Okay, where are you right now? Is this bioscience?
It's, yeah, in the science building it says, biological sciences building on the permit here.
Which floor do you think you're on?
1.
1?
Yeah.
Eventually, he sits down calmly, waiting in silence as the emergency power stays on, but the elevator doesn't move.
Yeah, we just had a power blip at our location too, so I'll let physical plant know.
Okay.
And they can try and get you out of the elevator.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, if you need anything, just call this number back.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
A man and woman stand silently inside the elevator before the doors open and she begins to exit. He grabs her suddenly, shoving her while forcefully taking her belongings. After she falls, he stays inside and waits for the elevator doors to close behind him. A group of guys got stuck in an old hydraulic elevator during a malfunction. The elevator halts unexpectedly, leaving the group inside, who quickly realize they're stuck and begin trying to figure out a way to escape. After multiple attempts to communicate and free themselves, they continue to struggle while remaining calm, awaiting help to resolve the situation.
Ça fait le live ou pas?
A man enters an elevator while carrying an e-bicycle with a battery. Suddenly, the e-bicycle's battery catches fire, quickly spreading smoke inside the elevator. The man struggles to escape but tragically succumbs to the smoke inhalation before help arrives. Two guys enter an elevator, but it suddenly stops, trapping them inside. They try pressing the buttons and calling for help, but the elevator remains stuck with no response. A Schindler elevator opens, but a visible part inside appears damaged, causing it to malfunction.
Well, here we have a Schindler elevator. Probably the best Schindler elevator I've ever seen in my life.
The elevator struggles to operate correctly, with delays in movement and unresponsive controls.
This panel doesn't do anything.
Despite opening, the damage causes continuous issues, leaving the elevator unable to function as expected. The video starts with a child already bitten by the dog in the elevator, visibly in pain. The pet owner remains indifferent, continuing to watch as the child struggles with the bite. Despite the child's distress, the owner does not intervene, leaving the situation to unfold without action. It was just after 1:00 a.m. on August 4, 2019, in Cusco, Peru. The city was quiet, the streets slick with night air, when surveillance cameras recorded Maybeth Espinoz, 34, and her partner Hector Vidal, 36, leaving a nightclub near the Bethlehem Bridge. The couple had recently settled in Cusco and were well known in the local tourism community. Experienced mountaineers, professional guides, people who made a living navigating danger with care and precision. That night, though, they were simply two people enjoying a rare break from work, walking arm in arm, laughing as they disappeared into the darkness. At first, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Minutes later, the same cameras captured them stopping at the center of the Bethlehem Bridge, a structure that rose nearly 50 feet above the road below, bordered by metal railings designed to prevent exactly what was about to happen. They leaned against the barrier, talking softly, kissing, completely absorbed in each other. Then Maybeth climbed up onto the railing, sitting on top of it. She wrapped her legs around Hector's waist, a playful, intimate gesture, carefree, affectionate, and tragically unsafe. Every second was recorded. Without warning, Maybeth lost her balance. As she slipped, her legs pulled Hector forward. Both of them grabbed desperately for the railing, their bodies twisting in panic, but there was nothing to hold on to. In a matter of seconds, they tipped over the edge together. Still clinging to each other, they fell nearly 50 feet, vanishing from the camera's frame and slamming into the road below. Screams echoed through the night. Emergency responders arrived quickly, but the damage was already done. Maybeth had died instantly. Hector was still alive when paramedics reached him, suffering from a fractured skull and severe internal injuries. He was rushed to the hospital, but he never recovered. He died shortly after arriving. Police reviewed the CCTV footage in full. There was no sign of violence, no argument, no third party involved. Toxicology reports found no drugs or alcohol. Authorities ruled it a tragic accident, one moment of lost balance, one irreversible mistake. The news shook Cusco. This wasn't a tourist unfamiliar with the city or a reckless thrill seeker. Maybeth and Hector were locals, respected members of the outdoor and guiding community, people who understood risk better than most. Friends described them as inseparable, united by their love for the mountains and for each other. Both had family in northern Peru, and their bodies were later returned home for burial. Cusco had seen its share of accidents, but this one felt different. In the middle of the city, on a bridge everyone trusted, two lives ended not because of danger or malice, but because of a single, fleeting lapse in judgment. And thanks to the unblinking eye of a security camera, their final moments were preserved forever. Body cam footage shows a white car coming to a stop as a 27-year-old suspect jumps out from the passenger side.
And that's when police say 27-year-old Jose Abel Iribe jumps out from the passenger side. Body cam video from one officer shows the officer running after Iribe and yelling commands.
This next clip was captured by a phone camera in downtown Los Angeles. A group of people were waiting for the train when the fight started. It turned out they were members of different gangs. As the fist fight continued, the man in green shorts was shoved right onto the train tracks. He was eventually helped up, and the day went on as usual. Fighting in traffic is not uncommon, but one man almost paid dearly for it in downtown Los Angeles. Watch the fight unfold. Towards the end, this happened. One of the men fell right in front of a car tire. The saving grace was that the car was not in motion at that time. Even then, he stood up to look for his opponent to continue the fight. Perhaps these men should have found a place to sit and talk about their issue. Instead, they chose to settle it with their fists, and this is how it went.
Get that nigga, Denny! Get that nigga, Denny! Come on, what you got? These niggas in Mortal Kombat! Mortal Kombat! It ain't over. Hell no, it ain't over. You got back, man. Come on. Get that nigga snow.
Even the man recording along with the onlookers found the fight hilarious and could barely hold back their laughter.
Hey man, I'm about to come back up here.
Like Tyson out here right now.
Them socks didn't look like ain't no bitch kicking. Them socks didn't look like they ain't supposed to do nothing. Boom, bam, bam, nigga, what you talking about? That's you better do something. Nigga, blow, bam, blow, nigga. Damn. What happened was he seen that kick was low-key getting him away. I'm back up, yeah. He seen that kick was working, that's why he kept doing it. Stupid as a bitch.
They have been crisscrossing the area of South LA for some time.
Los Angeles police are giving us a look at what happened.
More money coming out the window.
An officer-involved shooting with an alleged gang member.
Shootout between LA County Sheriff's deputies and robbery suspects in Linwood.
A newly released video shows a shootout involving deputies and robbery suspects in Glenwood.
Now to some new video tonight of a shootout between LA County Sheriff's deputies and robbery suspects in Linwood. On August 30th, deputies say that they were flagged down the corner of Fernwood Avenue and Alameda. The suspect's vehicle then came past them. Moments later, the deputies chased them to a cul-de-sac you see there at 112th and Lorraine. That's where the shootout occurred. One deputy was hit, had to have surgery to remove the bullet. 2 suspects arrested, one at the scene, another after he tried to escape and crashed his car.
The man in white was walking down the street when his day turned into a nightmare. Masked men ran up to him and grabbed his arm. In a matter of seconds, his Rolex watch was pulled off and the suspects ran into their vehicles, making their clean escape in broad daylight. CCTV captured lawlessness at its peak at a Vans store in Santa Monica. A mob of looters were having a field day at the store. However, no arrest was made. Two men approached a quiet area, armed with a 9mm handgun. Before leaving, the suspect punched the employee he was holding down while taking his cash. The suspect then approached a second employee out of the camera's view and hit him in the face with a handgun. A regular day at the gym turned chaotic when two guys took their argument to another level. The footage seems more like the aftermath of a fight, but the tension suggested that another fight might break out soon enough. Two LA gangs had an altercation just by the roadside. At first, it looked like they were trying to settle the scores verbally, but in no time, the matter escalated. A punch was thrown and several lunches followed. The after escalated to the point that they were using skateboards as weapons. It may be disturbing to others, but it's a typical day for gangsters.
Come on, Tino. Come on, Tino.
Four individuals are seen inside the elevator, preparing to exit when suddenly one of them steps too far back and falls through the open space behind. The others react instantly in shock, with one person reaching out instinctively as the victim disappears from view. Screams echo through the building as the group rushes out, trying to alert others and process what just happened. A group of people is seen placing a glass window inside an elevator. As they move the glass, it gets stuck in the elevator door, causing the door to yank upward. The tension escalates as the glass shatters when the door continues to pull, creating a dangerous moment inside the elevator. A man inside an elevator, attempting to leave, pushes the buttons, but they fail to work, trapping him inside. After several attempts to get a response, he begins to show signs of distress, punching the doors in frustration. The man continues to struggle, visibly panicked as he kicks and pushes the doors, hoping to escape. In Melrose, a couple of Mexican guys beat up a man.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh, get the out of here, bro! Get the fuck out of here, you will, John! Shut up! Get the fuck out of here! Shut up!
When they left him, he followed them again, obviously asking for more. Whatever made him think he could take on the two guys was wrong, because he ended up taking 2 more punches directly to the face.
Bro, just watch it. Go home, bro. Go home. Let it go, bro. Let it go. Let it go. Oh. Oh. Okay. You let y'all stop in your ass right now. Yo, get close to me and y'all gonna say it. Let it go, let it go. Seriously, y'all get close to me and y'all gonna get fucked. So now you can back up, okay? Bitch, that nigga talking about I'm tired of you.
This is just another day in a Los Angeles neighborhood.
Don't give a
My mama said because that's what my mom said. When you would claim your own mom said too, right?
Luckily, it didn't get physical. This young gang member in a yellow started a fight with street show dancers on Hollywood Boulevard, but it didn't go quite well for him. The bigger and obviously older men didn't give a chance to even escape as they stomped him on the floor. When he was finally freed from their hands, he regained self-awareness and his mouth started running again.
Shit, homie, what's up, man? What's up, homie? I'm bang, homie. What's up? What's up, man? Hell no, dog. You got I know what the I don't give a guys. Nobody knows what that is, homie. I don't give a nigga. You ain't come up to me like that, nigga. Cause you ain't got me my head. Where's my asses at? Where's my fuck?
A man brought a bike onto an elevator, unaware it would soon become a dangerous situation. The bike begins emitting thick smoke as the elevator doors close, alarming the passenger trapped inside. Flames suddenly burst from the bike, setting off panic as the fire rapidly fills the elevator with heat and smoke. A flooded hallway comes into view as the video begins, with water already pooling on the floor before the camera moves toward the elevator.
And it's flooding really bad here. That's water. Whew. Time to go to the lobby.
As the person approaches, water is seen pouring out from inside the elevator, flooding outward into the corridor in a steady stream.
Yeah, this is how bad it's flooding over here.
Yeah, my car's down in the lower level.
Yeah, it just may be just like that much water. If on the higher portions, it's pretty dry. Just what they had a pipe bust down there and it's just leaking water everywhere.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Nothing to worry about as far as like water damage. Yeah.
This footage shows water slowly dripping from the ceiling of an elevator, forming small puddles on the floor as the camera records the eerie scene. The dripping becomes steadier, and the walls appear damp, with streaks of moisture running down the metal panels.